You know how sometimes you think you're stronger than you actually are? Well, that was me when I began this video, which was originally swapping my screen time for reading until I realized I had a severe phone addiction and not enough motivation to keep reading for that long. So I switched it to a cozy reading vlog because I was desperate to tell you about Dance of Thieves, which I read in this video. So please sit back, relax, grab a snack, read with me, and enjoy my cozy reading vlog where I drink nasty coffee and set off fire alarms with my candles.
Does it ever drive crazy? Just how fast am I? Jiggy
I really just feel like that Powerless left me in a fantasy mood. What am I supposed to do? Where's my enemies to lovers closure? So I was going to read something else, and then I saw a quote from somebody in this book on my Bookstagram, and it was like enemies to lovers, da 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 da. And so I dropped everything and started reading this Dance of Thieves, and I'm gonna give you guys my opinion. I know a lot of people say that it starts really slow, and there's also a trilogy before this, but I don't have the trilogy on me, and I'm not gonna go out and buy an entire trilogy. We're gonna read this, and maybe if I like this series, we'll read the trilogy later, because honestly, I'm not finding the beginning to be that slow. Like, it feels like info dumping, but not more than the average fantasy series. This book is so fun and funny. I'm 60 pages in. I've been reading for about an hour. I know that people said that it picks up like around page 50, but like literally on page 50 it immediately picks up, which is crazy. I'm on page 66 and I'm already like giggling. Like, the two main characters are absolutely hilarious together, and I'm literally just like laying in bed enjoying the chemistry of these two people, and I'm having a lot of fun. Fighting off sleep, but this writing, I just got to the first quote that made me like, on page 75, and reading that quote is the same way that Rebecca Ross made me feel in Divine Rivals, and if you guys don't know, that is my favorite book ever. So I don't know. I fear I may have flown too close to the sun with this one. I fear that I may get a little too involved here. I just got to page 306 or chapter 34. I can see
how this book is not for everybody. I can see how a lot of people were like, this is really boring, I DNF'd it. I can also see the side of Book Talk though that was like, this is stunning, this is beautiful, this is great. I can understand both sides. The side that I fall on, this is stunning, this is beautiful, and this is great. I love this book. A lot of the complaints are that there's like so much going on that or like there's so many new words and things that you're just like, I have no idea what's happening. But for me personally, I find that to be super immersive and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I think that the pacing is interesting. It's definitely not, I wouldn't say it's predictable. I think like there's definitely tropes in it and stuff, but it's like not the slow burn thing that I was expecting. It's definitely subverting a couple of tropes, which I really enjoy. It's kind of like star-crossed lovers type of thing. Like you two cannot be together, but they're interested in one another. But they also have missions that actively go against one another. And it isn't really like, oh, there's like this one main plot. It's more like there is a driving force, but it is really kind of like that cat and mouse type of game. It kind of reads like a little bit like a TV show.
You stole my love, but I forgive you. I give into you.
164 pages into Vow of Thieves, and it is excellent. If you haven't read this book, it's so good. The first book is so good. To me, it reads kind of like a TV show, like where I'm watching them do a bunch of things. There is no like one main plot, but there is a main plot. I'm just being silly, but I feel like that I'm watching them do a bunch of things. I love the characters so much that I quite literally just don't mind at all. So. We're 200 pages into Vow of Thieves. I'm eating this up. Like I said, this book is making me want to write fantasy. And this book isn't even like that fantastical, I wouldn't say. It's not like super fantasy. I don't really know like what it's called because it's not like historical fiction, but it's not like dystopian. You guys know what it's called when there's like a kingdom, like made up kingdoms, made up lands, and these people are just like fighting with older like weapons, like right, like there's no phones, there's no like there are guns, but they're like a brand new invention. Like Is that historical fiction? Is that fantasy? Like, am I just being silly? Is that fantasy, or like, do you need magic to be fantasy? I don't know. We're cozy. We're having a good night. We're holed up in here. We're reading our book. We're having a lot of fun.